Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. This video is the what's next on Alexander Poveckin, the former heavyweight champion of the world, coming off a tough fourth round knockout loss to Dillian Whyte in their rematch for the WBC interim heavyweight championship. So, you know, Poveckin back in August of last year came out of nowhere after getting put down twice and looking like he was going to be knocked out by Dillian Whyte in their first fight, and he landed a wicked left uppercut, perfectly timed and perfectly placed on Dillian Whyte and knocked him out cold. That set up the showdown here between Whyte and Poveckin in the rematch, because, you know, there was a rematch clause in the contract and Whyte wanted it badly, and a lot of people, myself included, felt like it was a bad idea to go straight after Poveckin in a rematch. Poveckin, though, looked confident. He felt confident, you know, knowing he could land that one punch. But from the first round on, he just got hit hard, and it just didn't look like he could hang. And Whyte just thoroughly broke him down and knocked him out in the fourth round impressively. So, you know, to me, no shame in losing to Dillian Whyte. At the end of the day, Dillian Whyte is a top 5, top 6 heavyweight right now, and deservingly so. He's got a good resume. And Alexander Poveckin, you know, I think what I liked about the win over Whyte is that he kind of put a stamp on his career in terms of a signature victory that he needed to kind of let everybody know who he was, because Poveckin, in my opinion, never really had that one signature win that everybody remembers at heavyweight. And to me, I think Poveckin, and you can argue this, had a Hall of Fame type worthy career. So real quick, let's me going into that, let's see what's next for Alexander Poveckin, the 42-year-old former heavyweight champion, coming off that loss to Dillian Whyte. And the reason I'm getting all nostalgic and talking about this stuff with about Poveckin is because I think what should be next for him is retirement. I think Poveckin should retire. He's still technically in the top 10. I still have him there. He deserves that. But I don't know where he can go in the top 10 anymore. You know, he's going to be looked at as a definitely gatekeeper, stepping stone type fighter now. You know, by anybody in the top 10 that'll take it serious. If he wants to keep fighting, he could, and you never know. I mean, you look at what he did against Dillian Whyte. Maybe he can compete against some of the guys in the top 10, but does anybody really think he can reach that peak of the heavyweight division anymore? No. In my opinion, this was his last chance to see if he still really had it, and Dillian Whyte beat that out of him, in my opinion. I think he showed, and I think Poveckin has faded, and he's no longer the threat he used to be. And hey, he's 41, 42 years old. I mean, is anybody surprised by that? I'm not. But the point is I don't think he should continue his career. But running through the top 10 real fast, you know, what's next for Alexander Poveckin? He will not get Tyson Fury. Fury is locked up with Anthony Joshua the next 2 fights. Joshua already knocked him out in 2018, would not be interested. Deontay Wilder, not going to be interested after he was knocked out by Dillian Whyte. Andy Ruiz Jr. would not be interested. What's the point in Ruiz, where he's at in his career, fighting Poveckin coming off the loss? A third fight with Dillian Whyte. What's the point in that for Dillian Whyte? He pretty much had him the first time and got caught. Second time, he dominated him and knocked him out. There'd be no point for a rubber match between the two. Number 6, Alexander Usyk. Usyk has just other good fights lined up for him, and it wouldn't make any sense for him to take a step back and fight a 42-year-old at the time former heavyweight champ in Poveckin. So that ain't gonna happen. Number 7 is Luis Ortiz, the former heavyweight, former world title challenger. You know, I wouldn't completely rule this one out just because they're both older heavyweights, and Ortiz, you know, is a guy that's always looking for fights, so he might fight Poveckin just to lay him out because they're both the same age. But I don't think Poveckin would be interested in that fight because that's a risk, and he's going to get hit in that one by a guy with really heavy hands, so I don't see it. Number 8 is former heavyweight champion Joseph Parker. Parker is lined up for Derek Chisora, and a lot of people think that's going to be a setup to fight the winner of Usyk and Joe Joyce to determine the WBO championship after Fury and Joshua, the winner of that, vacates the belt or gets stripped because they don't make their mandatory defense. So I think Parker just has other things on the radar, and it would be a step back to fight Poveckin, so I don't see it. I got Poveckin at number 9, and then tied for 10th are Michael Hunter, which would be a rematch, and Otto Wallin. You know, both fights, those are two guys that would fight Poveckin probably if they could get the fight, just because nobody else seems to want to fight him. I know Hunter would like to leave no doubt that he was the better man against Poveckin in a rematch, and Otto Wallin would do it just to continue to build his resume, but I don't think Poveckin would want to fight either one of them coming off this loss. So for me, I think Poveckin should put a stamp on his career, retire. He got the signature victory over Dillian Whyte, knocked him out, laid him out cold, and he had some really great wins in his career. Former heavyweight champion. He went in there against, he beat Ruslan Shagayev in 2007, which that was a huge win. He has a knockout win over Chris Bird in 2007, I believe, and defeated Eddie Chambers also in 2007 in that area, and handed him his first loss, and has just over the last 14 years been a serious threat in the heavyweight division, just never went away, and had some really nice wins over solid heavyweight competition that was on the rise, and he finally got a signature win against a top 5 heavyweight and knocked him out cold in Dillian Whyte. So I think he should call it quits, retire. There'd be no shame in that at his age, and ride off into the sunset happy with a very solid career. So, that's it. That's what's next on Alexander Poveckin, the former heavyweight champion of the world. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.